Stoners. Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I am your smoke master, Brent Elrod, coming to you from the cozy confines on the patio here at the No Shoes Bar and Grill, deep in the heart of the Republic of Texas. I have an awesome show lined up today. I am pairing two what I think are going to be great products. I am going to be pairing the Camacho Nicaraguan Barrel Aged with Texas's own Garrison Bros Honeydew Texas Straight Bourbon. I think it's going to be a great matchup, so let's dive right in, pop the cork, cut the stick, and get to toasting. Now, this Camacho Nicaraguan Barrel Aged is a Toro. It's 6x50 on the ring gauge. It has a filler that is a combination of Dominican Piloto Cubano, Honduran Corojo, and barrel-aged Esteli Corojo. It's a lot to get out. The binder is Mexican, and the wrapper is a very beautiful Ecuadorian Habano. Now, visually, it is a beautiful, beautiful earthy brown. It has tight but visible seams and some visible veining. And it's also, curiously enough, it's very smooth, but it's a dry wrapper. There's not a lot of tooth or oil to it. It is a really, really beautiful stick, and it does have a double cap. Now on the nose, I get oak, espresso, some hints of rum, and a nice nuttiness. Now let's give this stick a cut, test out the cold draw. Now on the cold draw up front, I get some really sweet milk chocolate, followed up by some hints of brown sugar. So there's a lot of sweetness in this stick. I'm also getting some cinnamon and a little bit of cedar. There's a lot going on this stick. I think it's going to pair really well with the Garrison Brothers. Now, Garrison Brothers holds the note of being the first bourbon distillery outside of the states of Kentucky and Tennessee to be licensed to legally distill bourbon. So, that means it is the oldest distillery in Texas. And it's been around since 2006, so it's really not that long ago. Bourbon was really confined to Kentucky and Tennessee for most of its life. Fortunately, it is now spreading its wings a little bit. Now, Honeydew is 40% alcohol by volume, so it's 80 proof. It's a non-age statement whiskey, and it has a mash bill that's 74% Texas white corn, 15% red wheat, and 11% Canadian malted barley. Let's go ahead and pop the cork on this spirit and take a look at it in the glass. Love that sound. Wow, very aromatic spirit. Now, as you can see, this is a very, very beautiful golden brown, kind of a copperish color with a little bit of red in it. It's an absolutely beautiful spirit, and it has really good legs on it. It's really clinging to the glass well. Now on the nose, I get oak forward, and everything else is a blend of sweetness. I pick up caramel, some hints of brown sugar, and molasses. That has a wonderful aroma to it. Now, on the palate, there's honey forward, honey up front, but that's followed up fairly quickly with oak and maple. Some caramel and some florally notes that is probably due to the Texas wildflower honey that is mixed into the blend. That's what makes Honeydew different, is it's not a honey liqueur, but they do use Texas wildflower honey in the blend, so it does have a lot of really forward, sweet, honey-related flavors. This is an excellent, excellent bourbon. I am very impressed. But let's go ahead and toast up our stick and see how these go together. If you're watching this on video, you can probably tell that there is a very large volume of smoke off of this stick, and it's got a really good palate to it. I get caramelized sugar, kind of a creamy oakiness. A hint of spice, kind of a black pepper, coffee, and just a touch of earthiness. Let's try them together. Oh yeah, that is wonderful together. You've got kind of the caramelized sugar on the coming off of the stick, and you've got the honey and the caramel in the spirit, and they're really just blending together. And it's not an overpowering sweetness. It's a nice subtle sweetness. I've had honey liqueurs that are, you know, they're almost too sweet to drink. You definitely keep wanting to drink them, but they are very, very sweet. This is not like that. This is kind of a subtle sweetness where everything just kind of melds together really well. I think this is going to be a great pairing. The draw on the stick, very easy, but not too easy. You're not going to overdraw on it and make yourself sick. And I would say it's probably not quite even making it up to medium. This is really kind of a mild to medium cigar so far. It's a really great blend. I'm really enjoying this. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and burn this down to the halfway mark, and I'll come back and give you an update. Hey Stoners, I am back. This matchup is going very, very well. The halfway mark, the Camacho Nicaraguan barrel aged has brought in some almonds, maybe a little coffee, some rum, and kind of a stables hay kind of flavor to the palate. it is marrying very well with the brown sugar and the molasses in the Garrison Brothers Honeydew. And as I said before, there's a pretty good amount of sweetness in both of these, but it's not an overpowering sweetness. It's just a very nice, subtle, constantly there sweetness, and they're marrying together really, really well. I am very impressed with both the stick and the spirit. I'm kind of speechless other than that. And we'll tell you that I'm going to go ahead and burn this down the rest of the way, and I'll come back and give you my final thoughts. You know, the last couple of weeks I've had the opportunity to do some product reviews for Need One with some of their cigar cabinets, and by the way, they are still operating beautifully. It has got to be the easiest humidor I've ever had to keep it at that 70% or so humidity level. The seal and the air tightness of those cabinets is beyond anything that I've ever had an experience with as far as storing cigars. I am very pleased. But, you know, over the last several weeks, I've started interjecting some political commentary into the middle of these pairing videos. And I want to remind you that several weeks ago, back in the summertime, somewhere in the June-July range, I mentioned the name Tulsi Gabbard. You all may know her. She ran for president in 2020. She was a U.S. representative for the state of Hawaii, Democratic Party. And I told you that she was struggling with the Democratic Party, that she didn't really believe in their ideology anymore, and that you need to keep your eye on her. Well, you probably haven't had a choice over the last couple of weeks but to keep your eye on her, because she's been on the news every day. She's been on Fox News to do 2 or 3 interviews. She spent 2.5 hours with Joe Rogan on the Joe Rogan Experience, episode 1880, if you want to go look at it. I watched the entire 2.5 hours. She became very disenchanted with the direction of the Democratic Party. She described herself as one of the old Kennedy-type Democrats, and that the Democratic Party today was not that party, and that she could no longer support that party. She hasn't joined the Republican Party, and Joe asked her outright, and she has no intention at this point of joining the Republican Party. She's not saying she's gone that direction. She is really saying that she's staying more independent. I have encouraged her in messages I've sent to her with no reply that she should really consider the Libertarian Party. I really think it probably does fit her better. And I said even back in 2020 when she was running for president, I didn't really see her, other than some of her positions that I thought was probably just she was holding that position because that's the Democratic Party ideology. It didn't really make, to me, it didn't really feel like she was wholly supportive of it. And now I'm listening to things that she's saying, and I'm like, yeah, this is what I thought. This is what I thought 2 or 3 months ago. So definitely need to keep an eye on her. I don't know that she's going to run for anything, but she is definitely making a lot of waves, and she is probably expressing what a lot of people are feeling that are in the Democratic Party. And I think this election cycle, you are going to see a large shift away. And I'm hoping that the independents, the libertarians, are able to possibly pick up some seats if they can put some really good candidates forward. I don't see them capturing the presidency anytime soon. After the Ross Perot candidacy back in the 90s, the Democrats and the Republicans got together and they kind of rewrote the rules for the presidential debates, and you're not going to be able to be a third party and be on the debate stage with the Democratic and the Republican candidate. You're just not. And if you can't get on the stage, you're not going to win the election. You're not even going to come close. I mean, Perot's been the best shot. He got like 20% of the vote. It wasn't anywhere near enough. But keep an eye on Tulsi. She's going to have some big things coming, I'm telling you. I know it. I feel it. So I've been right so far. So keep an eye on it. Hey, Stoners, I am back. We are almost down to the band and our glass is empty. This was an excellent pairing. In the final half of the cigar, brought in some leather and a little bit of cinnamon and some chocolate. The caramelized sugar and the kind of black pepper spiciness stayed true throughout the stick. Adding in the kind of smoothiness of leather and a little bit of kind of baking spice and the cinnamon really melded well with the honey of the Garrison Brothers Honeydew. It blended perfectly. This was a very, very good pairing, a really good pairing. I was extremely impressed with the way this turned out. I've smoked a couple of Camachos before, but it's my first time having the Nicaraguan barrel aged, and it was an excellent cigar. I would have to give it somewhere in the range of 92, 93 matchsticks, and I would give the Garrison Brothers, I would give it a 94, 95 Whiskey Stones. It was an excellent spirit. I haven't had Garrison Brothers before. It's been on my radar for a long time, but it is a little pricier bourbon. This is definitely not a mixer. You would not want to ruin the palate on this by mixing it with something else. You definitely want to be drinking it just out of the glass. It was really, really good, and I am definitely going to be trying to work Garrison Brothers into some future pairings because I'd like to try some of their other offerings. I can't say enough about these two, and you really should give it a try. Really should. The Garrison Brothers is going to run you about $70 for a fifth. Like I said, it's a little pricier. The Camacho Nicaraguan barrel aged I picked up down at Cigars International for, I think it was about $11 a stick. So it's kind of, average price range. But you should definitely give this a try on a weekend afternoon when you're sitting around like I am with the football game playing in the background. I can't say anything else about the game because I don't want the professional league to come down on me and say I'm trying to make money off of them. Give me a cease and desist. But the Kansas City team and the Buffalo team have been putting on a pretty good show for me while I've been working on this pairing. So, I will have another great pairing for you next week. I hope you enjoyed this pairing. I hope you give it a try. Please support my buddies at Cigarism, at Need One. They always would appreciate your support. I would appreciate you letting them know that you heard about them from me, so that they'll know that I'm doing a good job. I hope that you have a great upcoming week and that you join me again. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, blow all the whistles, whatever it is that you have to do. I'll have all my contact information at the end of this. I am now, as of this week, on Truth Social, the Donald Trump thing. I try to be everywhere, no matter what your political affiliations. I just try to cover as much as I can. But you can find me on Instagram. You can find me there. You can find me at Getter. You can find me on Facebook. Instagram is typically where I do most of my contact. So be sure to look me up on Instagram. And I will be looking forward to getting together with you again. I've had a little bit too much Garrison Brothers this afternoon. But until we get to see each other again, keep your sticks dry, your stones cold. Have a great day.